I understand how you must feel, but you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only for your patience. However, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery. Of course, I would be sure to visit him as oft as I am able.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray, bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
That woman's taking advantage of us, she is. She knows full well we've nowhere else to turn.
Will he truly be all right?
That woman's taking advantage of us, she is. She knows full well we've nowhere else to turn.
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. You're not a patient, are you? I suppose you must be a visitor. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the privilege of serving as abbess here. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself? I am grateful beyond words, sir. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search prove fruitful.
Tellers, miasmite can be harvested from phantoms, monsters that wander the world at night.
At last! It all becomes clear.
Adventuring's a grand way to wind up a cadaver.
This might contain useful information.
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of interest.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Oh.
Right, door's locked. That should do it. Ah, how I've longed to embrace my bedroll.
When I think of my travels, 'tis a mighty warrior who springs to mind. A more doughty champion I've never seen.
Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
Off we go then.
Ready to forge...
I know precisely when a curative is needed, Master. You'll never fall in battle so long as I'm around.
Tellers, Maya's might can be harvested. I enjoy tackling fierce foes and prefer combat.
Are you so eager to chat with me?
Pray, take this. Heavens know you've earned it. Moments ready.
I'm in fine fettle today.
Tis quiet. I shall gladly aid you if 'tis within my power.
Got something for me?
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. But in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany me? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care. Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there! Help me! Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
It's you again. What are you doing now? I wish... Got something for me? Got something for me? Got any good stories to share?
Might I beg but a moment of your time?
Is there aught I can assist you with?
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us. Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us.
Medicine! 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 Now! 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 I need it. I need it. I need more medicine! I need it. I need it. I need more medicine! I need it.
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone? Oh, someone help me.
Where to be? Must we beg for guidance?
Let me get that.
Good day, sir. I fear I've much to attend to.
This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice low.
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us.
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the Abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them. I do hope not befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the Abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the Abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the Abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the Sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the Abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
There's no great...
I have noticed that the Abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave and slip into the basement sick room then.
How might we enter the basement sick room?
Aptly said.
Best watch yourself.
What do you think? Does this suit me? Hmm?
This place offers a view of the sea.
Well, we shan't be diving in anytime soon.
Well met. This here's the sanctuary of tipplers and merrymakers alike. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
Well met. This here's the sanctuary of tipplers and merrymakers. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with you.
How to spend the day?
This is generally used as a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Mayhap would serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
'Tis as you say.
I must be grateful. At least I have a full belly.
I do hope naught befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? I have noticed that the Abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave and slip into the basement sick room then.
It is my duty to devote my life to prayer and watch. Isn't there anything to do out here? How do I end up here anyhow?
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
Elena. Ah, yes. The Abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the Abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up, and he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter. And always a night, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
into peril unprepared.
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
Not much going on hereabouts.
We'll have an early supper.
There's got to be something fun to do.
Suppose that's enough for one day.
Got to focus. His head will roll if Morse
nodding
goes
off
awry.
where I stand.
Kinda hard. I'm very sorry.
I did nothing wrong. Wood all my days.
There's a ladder here. After you, Arisen.
Quite sure. Wood all my days was sunshine. Stay out of everybody's way.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder?
This is beyond me, I'm afraid.
Chaos in the world begins with chaos of the mind.
You'll pass me by, just like all the rest.
Can't help but talk in a whisper when I'm here.
I might nod off if I'm not careful.
I can't wait to see what the day holds.
Things I could do with an ox cart full of
be heading home.
Not a care in the world. Just as it should be.
Everyone's as tired as I am.
I keep feeling ice in the back of my
Enjoy
head.
life where and when I can.
Hunting for one day.
Wonder what's going on in town.
Here's hoping we don't run into any trouble today.
Might learn a new dish.
Romance interest. How might I be of service?
Faring well, I hope.
Are you in the market for something in particular? Always a pleasure.
No purchases to be made today, I see. I just hope the shopkeep understands.
Browsing was enough to scratch the itch, in my case.
Might as well take a look while you're here, eh? Times change, but there's always coin to be made. Stop by again soon.
Well met, sir. How might I be of service? 'Tis good to be busy. Work begets opportunity. Do come again. Well met, sir. How might I be of service? Do come again.
Welcome. Everyone's as tired as I am. Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all... All right on the roads, despite the hour. You know where to find me. I fear I've no wisdom to offer. Are you ready to do this?
Might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
Welcome to Bjorn's, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember... Remember, misers die early death. Hope to see you again.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Even I know when to shut my trap.
I'm sure I can handle this. Quite sure.
Nothing ever seems to happen round here.
The pursuit of betterment is an endless journey. I fear I've much to attend to.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? I have noticed that the abbess goes...
Someone to talk to. I can't go on like this. Ain't nothing but trouble.
Living's hard, but dreams are free.
Only fools walk into peril unprepared. I'm off.
Well met. This here's the sanctuary. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the goods.
Pleasure doing business with you. Well met. This here's the sank. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks. Well met. This, I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
What am I to do?
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good... Many thanks. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business. Interested in my wares?
I'm in no hurry to leave. Wish I'd been born a nobleman, making an easy pick up. Have a look.
It's no easy feat to live on a performance wage.
Interested in my wares?
Sets my thoughts down dark paths, this place. All that fuss and carry a coin to show forth. Wish I'd been born a nobleman, son. My bed needs, and I shan't resist. Got to crack a few skulls if you want to be topped off.
Must have taken a wrong turn.
Where's my car? My car's in a race.
My bed needs, and I shan't resist. I'm aching for a fight.
I dare not showcase a performance unperfected.
Time to be heading home. Ain't nothing but trouble lurking here.
If I sleep on my woes, mayhap they'll go away. Slow and steady gets the job.
My grey matter requires a little stimulation.
Oh, well met, sir. I'm always willing to lend a helping hand. Whatever it is, I'll have to hear it another time.
Go on, have a look.
Drink is a vice of
All this hustle and bustle puts me right in.
Interested in my wares?
a hard day's work, is it too?
Wonder how long this job's supposed to last.
Very well. I shall await further orders. You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use... Where ought we to go now? I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. Where ought we to go now?
nobleman, son. I always sweat sheets
Sense my thoughts down dark paths this place.
Go on, have a look. Ain't gonna make any coin here.
I wish to astound.
Oi there! The ale flows aplenty here, courtesy of yours truly. So ne'er mind your coin purse. Drink your fill, my friend. What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
Go on, have a look.
Wouldn't say no to a nice, juicy beef stout. Not
Born a nobleman, son. Could barely drag my ass out of bed.
Life's been pretty kind to me.
I'm aching for a fight. All that fuss and nary a cry to show call. Bunch of
Sets my
careless
thoughts
fools.
down dark paths this place.
Life's been pretty kind to me. Come to think of it.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths this place.
What makes a performance worth watching? Make it quick. I ain't got all day. What's your business with me, Cos? Some other time, maybe.
Is it true you're the Arisen? That's what I've heard anyhow. Only, I seem to recall someone else boasting of being the Arisen over in the tavern about 6 months ago. Just be sure you play your part well, whatever the truth. The Arisen takes the crown here in Vermont, after all. Befell a Drake or two, and I reckon you'll earn the people's faith. Good luck to you.
As I recall, the abbess met with that strange man a night, in the square that lies in the eastern part of the common quarter. The two shared a few whispered words, and I heard them say aught about staying quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh?
Aye, that Lady Eleanor is a goodly person. A right saint. I owe her my good health, I do. Interested in my wares? Aye, that Lady Eleanor is...
A few hours.
Sets my thoughts
Go
down dark
on,
paths.
have a look. I'm tired of breaking my back for someone else. Got to crack a few skulls if you want to be topped off.
We have muscle to be getting this. Interested in my wares?
What's an ale?
Go on, have a look.
I don't feel safe here.
Crowds make for easy pickings. Wish I'd been born a nobleman, son.
Interested in my wares?
See if I can find
I always thought a short straw. Wish I'd been born a nobleman, son.
Stimulation.
Go on, have a look.
What should I get up to?
All that fuss and nary a coin to show for it.
Oh,
Look
this
at
won't do. I'm in no
Bunch of
fixed
careless
state.
fools.
Interested in my wares?
Any loose coin about, enough to make me rich. Crowds make for easy pickings.
Go on, have a look.
A hard day's
I'm
work.
tired of breaking my back for someone else. Crowds make for easy pickings.
Interested in my wares?
I wonder what sets my thoughts down dark paths this place.
Crowds make for
Go
easy
on,
pickings.
have a look.
Are you making a coin here? Look at them. Bunch of careless fools.
Interested in my wares?
Plenty of gossip.
I pity those content to live in idleness.
All that fuss and
Go
nary a
on,
coin to show
have a
for it.
look.
A brisk walk ought to ease my mind of burdens.
All this worry is giving me an achy back.
What did I do to deserve it? It's so dull when there's nothing doing.
Wondering how are you two getting on?
I'll make a living if I get myself injured. I'd rather just stay out of everybody's way.
There's a ladder here. After you, Arisen.
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I'm by your side.
Getting proper rest is an important duty in its own right.
Wonder if anyone else
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or... Much appreciated. Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
Mayhap I really would have been better off at base. So tired. I'd kip just about anywhere.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead? You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Ratcliffe, the doctor over in the rest town.
There's no great shock to me.
Now,
Time to head to market, methinks. So long as I have my...
Oh, sir, if you please. Pray, excuse my boldness, sir. I am but a humble maid in service to a noble household. Might I beg a moment of your time? My master is in need of aid, you see, and I'm hoping you'll consider offering your assistance. Oh, thank you, sir. You cannot imagine my relief. Might we continue this conversation somewhere more discreet? The matter it concerns is rather sensitive, and I would not risk being overheard. You will find my master's manor in the noble quarter. Pray, meet me there at your earliest convenience.
All the best tales come from travelers.
I've heard some interesting tidings about town.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
'Twould seem the Queen Regent has made...
If you're enjoying life, does aught else matter?
Good day, sir. What's got you in such a good mood? Do tell.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb. Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
One day, I'm going to have proper raiment.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you?
I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. But it's clear this storytelling's got little to do with his wealth. So where's he get his coin, then? Makes a man wonder, it does. Could be he's involved in something untoward, eh?
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
I'm always willing to lend a helping hand. Whatever it is, I'll have to hear it another time.
I always have a warm welcome for a customer.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as "Answer my riddle," did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear. To respond meant certain doom. But in the midst of his answer, he'd doubtless been consumed. So a mighty attack did our hero dispense, to conquer his foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he crept. And not a moment too soon, for there came a flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone. For every last soldier had been transformed into stone. Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which 'twas entwined. Seeing his moment, he unsheathed his blade, and brought the pillar low in a thundering cascade. The gloating serpent was caught by surprise, and with a pitiful hiss, 'neath the pillar it writhed. Till mustering swiftly the last of its might, to the depths of the shrine did the monster take flight. Thus, with a wit as sharp as his sword was honed, did our hero put an end to the threat imposed. And who was our hero? Why, needless to say, 'twas the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he crept. And not a moment too soon, for there came a flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone. For every last soldier had been transformed to stone. Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which 'twas entwined. Seeing his moment, he unsheathed his blade, and brought the pillar low in a thundering cascade. The gloating serpent was caught by...
I've heard there's a means to tell if someone who claims to be arisen is in fact the real thing. See, there's an oracle up in the palace, whose powers allow her to divine whether the arisen yet lives. There's only one arisen in the world, so no matter how many pretenders come forth, the oracle can see through their lies. Although, come to think of it, is that really proof? Does the oracle know who the arisen is, or only that they exist?
I'm in fine fettle today.
You don't know a town till you've met its people.
Swapping stories is one of life's great pleasures.
Times are hard. I'm barely scraping by. Something good will come up today. I
Time
just
to be
know
ready.
it.
I hope the weather holds.
gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he crept. And much appreciated. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus is applied to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain, should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of him.
How to spend the day?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain...
Did you want something? I've somewhere to be.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a knight as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea.
Say, have you been to Harm? 'Tis a quaint little village down by the sea. Well, if you do visit, you might want to give the old man who lives there a wide berth. I hear he sets out to sea on his boat, day after day, only to be returned to shore by the bride again and again. As if that wasn't queer enough, he's apt to talk your ear off about some world he believes lies beyond the sea. I cannot fathom his obsession. I suppose losing his family must have driven him to madness.
The other day, I chanced to see a most resplendent ox cart on the high road. Now, that's not so strange, but guess who I saw riding in it? Poor little Daphne. I doubted my eyes, I did. And rightly so, as it turned out to be a young boy. The resemblance was so uncanny I mistook him for her. Gave me a right shock, let me tell you. Odd to think a young noble should so closely mirror a girl of the slums. Their faces may match, but the lives they lead are as different as night and day. Aye, 'tis a cruel world we inhabit.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a muck. Avail. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his worth, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a night as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee.
A good day to you.
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could.
I'm in fine feather tonight. Peruse at your neck.
You're always such fun to talk to.
I don't expect to fare so well every day.
Oh, I could use a rest.
There's not I love more than a saucy rumour.
Still a while to go before my shift's over.
Bit of a tight spot.
Some call it culture, I call it dull.
Not my kind of place, this.
I ought to give up. Let the Reaper claim me.
May tomorrow be as uneventful as today.
Really, everyone's going to chance me. And I shan't resist. Anything could be lurking here.
Suppose that's enough for one day.
This fur stands on end.
Just remember that. I've somewhere to be. Maybe I'll keep right here.
This year's crops aren't faring so well.
Living hard, but dreams are free, they say.
Can scarce afford
Whatever
to
am
keep
I
us
to
fed
do?
these days.
Got to crack a few skulls if you want to be tops like
This place offers a view of the sea.
I wonder what lies at its bottom.
This is where my luck runs out.
Oi there! The ale flows aplenty here, courtesy of yours truly. So ne'er mind your coin purse. Drink your fill, my friend.
Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
Interested in my wares?
Crowds make for
This
easy
is no
pickings.
place to compose my thoughts. Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
Go on, have a look.
Ain't nothing but trouble lurking here.
My bed quarters.
Any
Sharp
loose
as
coin
a stick.
about, enough to make me rich.
Interested in my wares?
All that fuss, and nary a coin to show for it.
Wouldn't do to neglect proper nutrition.
Oh, look at it.
Go on, have a look.
I always draw the short straw.
Puts me in the mood for a song.
Great.
Interested in my wares?
Them nobles do nothing but guzzle sweetmeats and ale.
Puts me in the mood for a song. A brisk walk ought to ease my mind.
Go on, have a look.
This job better be worth ain't nothing but trouble. It's too bloody early.
I dare not shout.
Interested in my wares?
What should I get up to today?
I always draw the short straw.
Go on, have a look.
Time to be heading.
I always draw the short straw. Wonder how long this job's supposed to last.
Interested in my wares?
Can't remember the last time my pockets jingled. All that fuss, and nary a coin to show for it.
This is nice.
Go on, have a look.
I see what I thought.
Ain't gonna make any coin here.
Interested in my wares?
My grey matter requires a little stimulation.
The things I could do with an ox cart full of gold.
It's been a hard day.
Go on, have a look.
Getting back to
All that fuss, and crowds make for easy pickings.
puts me in the mood for a song.
Interested in my wares?
A book I ought to be getting back to.
I'm always willing to lend a helping hand.
What would you of me? I'll have no trouble, thank you.
Oh, well met, sir.
Well met. This here's the Sanctuary of Tippler. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
So dull when there's nothing doing. Living's hard, but dreams are free, I say. Can't stand around here all day.
Not many rumors to be had around here.
Not sure what they expect.
There's a ladder here. After you, Arisen.
All my days were so tranquil. I'd sooner stay out of battle. I'll take any chance not to think I'm sure I can handle this. Quite sure.
All the best tales come from travelers here.
I don't mind a bit of danger, me.
My legs are fair numb from walking about town.
Dead on my feet. Maybe I'll keep right here.
I pray this harvest is a plentiful one.
Don't feel safe here.
My bed.
This will do. In no fit state after this place.
Hi, sir. What I can do for you? Is there a problem, sir?
Well met. This here's the I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with you. Well met. This here I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with you. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with you.
We have found a material. I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
All my days were so tranquil.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
All this patrolling does a number on my shoulders. As soon as my shift's done, I'm off to the tavern.
This might contain useful information.
A thorough perusal might reveal... What of interest?
Welcome to Bjorn's armor, and quality is what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember... Many thanks.
I lack information pertinent to this task. Consider hiring a pawn better apprised of such matters.
Should my tale entertain you?
Of course, no one would bother with the rich man.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Oh, did it pertain to the Queen Regent and an important personage, perchance?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with this Batali dignitary than is publicly known.
I'm always willing to lend a helping hand. Whatever it is, I'll have to hear it another time.
Well met. This here's the... I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a...
Well met. This... I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good... Many thanks.
Crowds make... Easy pickings.
Go on, have a look.
A hard day's work, is it too?
Lots to do. Them nobles do nothing but dozen sweet meats and ale.
Interested in my wares?
I've a book I ought to be getting back to.
A tad rowdy, but I shan't complain. This job better be worth
Go on, have a look.
bloody early.
I'd sooner not associate with drunkards. Mayhap I ought to be getting home.
Interested in my wares?
Careless fools. Lots to do.
This is my moment. I mustn't falter.
Go on,
Gotta
have
crack
a
few
look.
skulls if you want to be topped off.
I'm in fine fettle today. I pity those content to live in
Interested
idleness.
in my wares?
I'm tired of breaking my back for someone else.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths, this place.
Go on, have a look.
Look at them. Bunch of careless fools.
A brisk walk ought to ease my mind to be getting home.
Interested in my wares?
Crowds make for easy pickings.
Only fools walk into peril unprepared. I'm off.
for you.
Because of sweet mix and ale. Mustn't let the captain see my things.
Not without its charms.
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
I'd sooner stay out of the where it's possible.
I ought to act a little more cheeky.
Mayhap I really would have been better off playing share with our troubles. I can but trust my faith will guide me through.
But I like it.
I'm afraid I don't have any knowledge about that quest as yet. If you require guidance, you must hire a pawn who does.
New place, strapped. I'm ready for patrol. Would all my days were so trained.
I feel more welcome here than any place else.
What was it I had to do?
I'll feel a sight better once I've had my dinner.
Oh, sir, if pray excuse might I beg a moment? My master is in need of aid, you see. I understand.
Ain't no sense thinking too far ahead, in here.
Idleness is a luxury I can rarely afford.
I can but trust my faith. Once no good.
Time to be heading.
Not but misers and paupers of late.
Where are you off to?
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
After you, Arisen.
I walk time when I know how to spend it. Won't someone do aught about this? Won't someone do aught about this?
Those new recruits can barely lift their swords.
But not without its charms.
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I'm by your side.
Off wandering about again, I see. Why are you so adverse to doing honest work?
You would ask the proud sire of House Berkeley to move crates? To scribble in ledgers? Preposterous!
Albert, cease sense. That pride of yours has already ruined you once before. Do you mean to let it do so again?
All I need's my health, I suppose.
I like to come here when I need a minute to think.
You need a permit to enter Batal, but they've become quite difficult to acquire of late, unless you're a merchant. Mind, rumour has it that it's easier for Beastrons to obtain them, perhaps because Batal's more of a Beastron nation. That's led to some people acquiring Beastron masks, of all things.
Seems a bit much, if you ask me. Come to think of it, I've nary a clue as to where one would go to apply for a permit to begin with.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs, I see.
Hope I didn't leave the pot on full.
Aye? What do you want?
Can't help but talk in a
Hope I didn't
whisper
leave the
when
pot
I'm
on
here.
full.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs, I see.
Got to keep my arms strong and my mind sharp.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs, I see.
Got to keep my arms strong and my mind sharp.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal.
Merry and engaging tale. Got to keep my arms strong and my mind sharp.
What was it I had planned for tomorrow?
Keep my arms strong and my mind sharp.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure, sir. Have we some business I'm unaware of? If you're looking for idle chatter, look elsewhere.
Needs my help, I suppose.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure, sir. Have we some business I'm unaware of? You mean
mean to tell me that Albert has been playing the part of a beggar? That man who would sooner starve to death than lift a finger in the pursuit of honest labor? If this is a jest, it is in very poor taste. All the same, I shall test the truth of your accusation, and who better to make it plain for us than Albert himself? I will place these clothes somewhere about the house. If he has aught to hide, his reaction when he finds them will doubtless be very telling. You may visit us again in a few days' time. Fear not. I have no intention of causing a fuss.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs, I see.
Such quietude is a blessing.
I've more time than I know how to spend.
There's a ladder here. Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Mayhap I really would have been better off a bacon.
You are returned. Have you reconsidered my request, perchance? Oh, thank you, sir. You cannot imagine my relief. Might we continue this conversation somewhere more discreet? The matter it concerns is rather sensitive, and I would not risk being overheard. You will find my master's manor in the noble quarter. Pray, meet me there at your earliest convenience.
Any chance to hear past? Time to head to market, methinks.
Just a short
All best tales come from travel in the inn.
Somehow my feet always carry me. I'd sooner stay out of that, were it possible.
This holding does a number on my shoulders.
I'll take any chance not to think on my troubles. So tight. Just about anywhere. Here.
Bit of a tricky situation.
I'm at the end of my rope.
Fancy a kit. But not at the expense of my duty.
Something good will come of today. I just know it.
I'm just grateful I get to lead a quiet life.
Time to head to market, methinks.
Always a fresh breeze blowing
To try
round
to
here.
enjoy life wearing the life
Fancy a kip. But not at the expense of my duty.
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
Not sure why I patrol it.
What am I to do? I'm lost without those garments.
Wonder if it's too early for dinner.
What am I to do? I'm lost without those garments.
Wonder if it's too early for dinner.
What am I to do? I'm lost without those garments. Aye. What do you want?
Haste makes waste, as they say.
Feel eyes on my back, watching me.
Time to be heading home.
Mayhap I ought take stock. See what's needed.
Tad rowdy.
Hail!
Time, this place.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to... climb.
After you, Arisen. Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few. Ah, now here's a surprise.
At least all our efforts weren't for naught.
Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
Will someone do aught about this?
Anywhere's better than the middle of the crowd.
As I've said, my husband has left to slay a Dullahan at the Ill-Doer's rest...
I shall have Albert himself verify your accusation. If he has aught to hide, I expect his reaction to seeing those garments will be very telling. You may visit us again in a few days' time. Fear not.
Oh, you came, sir. I must confess, I feared you would not. But I forget myself. You must be wondering why I asked you here. I should like to speak with an acquaintance of yours, a child with whom I espied you conversing. She is the spitting image of my young master, you see. Tis my hope that she might take his place for a time, thereby granting him a reprieve from his sorry situation.
Diana, would you paint my mother a criminal? Ahem. Perhaps I ought to be the one to explain.
Young master, I meant no offence.
Diana has the right of it, though the situation is not nearly so dire as she makes it sound. I seek only the freedom to leave my own home. My mother is bedridden, you see, and her mind is not so sharp as it once was. Whenever I am absent, she grows terribly distressed. By leaving a look-alike in the house, I hope to ensure her peace of mind while I attend to matters of my own. Would you be willing to lend your assistance? Splendid. Thank you so very much.
'Twas in the slums that I witnessed you speaking with the girl. Would you be so kind as to bring her here?
At once, Master.
I'm a predicament.
Whatever's to be done.
No hurry to it. Well met, sir.
Now here's a welcome sight.
Best get to cleaning before I'm too tired.
Never mind what they say. I'll hold my head high.
Not sure what they expect. I'm no cook, am I?
Where's my gag? My claws could use a trim.
How'd I wind up here anyway? This is guaranteed tomorrow.
Let us be sure to use what we gather, lest it amount to no more than a weight in our packs.
Hi, Arisen! I was hoping you'd come by, so I could thank you again for all your help. You really made a difference around here. Hmm? You wanted to ask me a favor this time? All right. How can I help? So, this noble boy wants me to pretend to be him? I'm not sure that'd work. I mean, I don't know the first thing about being a noble. Besides, are you sure we can trust these people? It all sounds a bit fishy to me. All right, I'll do it. But if I'm not very good at it, it's not my fault, okay? Lead on. Let's go see this noble boy.
I'm aching for a fight. None of us is guaranteed tomorrow. It's just life. Can't expect to fare so well every day.
You're worrying. You aren't living, I say.
I've stripped you to the sanctuary.
Oh dear. Where's comfort in the humdrum
easy
of
today.
Wouldn't say no to it.
doing about a dozen things up.
There's a ladder here. Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Anywhere's better than the middle of the ground.
Still looking?
Look, young master. She's here.
Indeed. I could be staring into a mirror. Diana, will you dress her and instruct her in her role?
As you wish, young master. This way, if you please, miss.
What a kindness you've done me. Now I can go and fetch a gift for Mother. I'm hoping a little cheer will aid her in her recovery, and a flower from Melve seems just the thing. And she was born there, you see. No doubt her days would be brighter with a memento of her old home by her bedside.
All is ready, young master. You need only finish your preparations for the journey.
You know, the roads around Melve are supposed to be really dangerous. I heard the safest way to get there is to carry something that reeks of Cyclops with you, because it'll scare all the monsters away.
Let's see. What else must I bring? Ah, I almost forgot. In that goes. Let's see. What else? Ah, I almost forgot. In that goes.
The lands around Melve are rife with poisonous flora. I'd hoped to pack an antidote for the young master, but the shops had none to spare. 'Tis not only poison the plants inflict, but drowsiness besides. Might there not be a curative that accounts for both?
I hear the safest way to get to Melve is to...
Well then, I ought to be off, I suppose. I must confess, I feel rather uneasy. This is my first time leaving the city. I only hope I've not forgotten anything of import. You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? Let's see. What else must I bring? Ah, I almost forgot. In that goes. Well then, I must confess, I only hope I've not forgotten. You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? Let's see. Ah, well then, I must confess, I only hope I've not forgotten. You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? My thanks. I'm certain these will come in useful. Now, I really must be going. Wish me luck.
Take care, young master.
Come back safe.